Here we are in my workspace outside. It's a little cooler today because we've been getting a lot of rain. Super humid. Super humid though. But we're going to do this. So I've had folks interested on the Hypertufa Facebook page. I've had people interested in this little rock votive that I made. So this is a natural river rock. These are natural rocks. And then this right here is a Hypertufa. So it's a fake stone. And so I've created these little votive candles to, you know, sit on your patio. Maybe, you know, you're wanting to be in a luxury spa, and so it sits in on your bathtub. Not me. Baths take too long. I don't have time for that. So I'm going to create my Hypertufa recipe. I'm going to show you how I create and mold the stone, and then I'm going to show you how I get the nice smooth river rock texture on it when it is all set enough and ready to do that. So here we go. All right, my Hypertufa mix for this, and I'm just using a, should have cleaned that out first. So my Hypertufa mix. So this is what we're going to use. This is what gives the sparkle to it. All right, and so we're going to use one, and I'm using a 1 cup measuring cup. So this is all 1 cup measures. So probably get 2 or 3 stones out of this mix. So 1 part of the vermiculite, 1 part of your sand, 1 part pearlite. Here's the peat moss, and I've sifted this so it's really fine. There's no lumps or anything in it. So 1 peat moss, and then I've got 2 parts of the Portland cement. Mix that all together. And we're going to add our water. So I'm only going to add a little at a time because I want to be able to make it just the right consistency to be able to mold. If there's too much water, it's going to be too soupy. You won't get the mold. So we're just going to put in a little at a time and stir. Kind of like making biscuits or bread, right? If you do all of those kinds of things like I do, then you know by touch what you want it to feel like. You want it to just hold together. Just needs just a dab more. So I'm just from my hand. This is what you want it to be able to do. Just like that. That's lovely. Maybe just a little bit more. You want it to hold and not crack, but it can't be soupy or it won't hold the mold. There we go. See what it's doing? And it's not caving back in on itself. It's not collecting moisture in there. Okay, that's what you want it to be able to do. Do it again. So there's no moisture forming in there. That's what you want. So we're going to take that mixture. So just for your information, that was 1 cup of water, but I only did a little here, a little there, because your humidity and your temperature in your atmosphere where you are is going to make a difference. So again, like making bread or cake or whatever, that flour is going to act differently depending on the humidity where you're baking. And so the cement, the Portland cement, is going to do the same thing. So just add a little bit of water at a time so that it will do what you want it to do. All right. So here we are. And so I've got my little here that I've stuck my little knee-high stockings, right? Gotta have those for church. My mama says you gotta wear socks to church. So there we go, and it's too hot, really, but. And then I'm going to take this little mix that I've got here. It's feeling a little dry, so I'm going to add just a little bit more, not much, just a little bit more, because I need it to be able to hold the shape without cracking. So I want it to be moist enough, and boy, is that the test. Moist enough that it'll hold, but not so much water that it caves in on itself. And I'm just going to toss that right in there. You can make these stones any size you want. So I've made mine like this to go on top of this nice hefty rock. But you can make them larger, you can make them smaller, you can make them different colors. I'm going to show you how to add some color to it here. So anyway, you've got this seam. We don't want that. We're going to move it around. You don't want the seam going across the top of your rock. So we're going to move this little stocking around and put that seam on the bottom. There we go. Pat it, bringing some of that water to the surface to make it nice and smooth. That was one of the requests. One of you wanted to know, how do I get that nice smooth stone finish like a river rock? Well, this is how we do it. Just kind of work it around, and that's nice and smooth. Now we're going to, and you can use the battery operated votive candles, or you can use these little ones right here. I get mine all at the Dollar Tree, the $1.25 tree. And I'm going to, where's my scissors? I should have had scissors ready. We're going to cut off this extra that we don't want. Got my faux stone here, and now I'm going to take this little votive candle, putting my stone here, and I'm just going to press this in. So there's my indentation, and I'm continuing now to smooth this out because there's probably some cracks under there. So I'm going to play with this a little bit and smooth that out. And you can make it any shape. Look at that. We can make an oblong shape. So that's kind of the fun. You can make it whatever shape you want. And here we are. I'm going to take this candle out. Taking the candle out, but leaving the votive holder in to hold that. And that's just going to be here. That's just going to be, I'm going to take it inside my workshop where it's air conditioned, so it's a little cooler. This will set nice and slow. And then at some point, maybe later this evening or tomorrow after church, then I'm going to take this stocking off and we're going to do some more work on it. Okay, so we'll come back to this. So if you want to make your stones a color, there's a few different things you can do. You can do just what I did, make the regular gray stone, and then come back over that with some very diluted acrylic paint, and just do a brush, let it dry, do a brush, let it dry until it's the color that you would like it to be. Or I sometimes will use the stucco coloring. So this is just a dry cement pigment I know online there's some companies that give really vibrant colors. Those are super pricey for me, so I'm not going there. But you can use these stucco cement coloring, and they'll give you kind of a muted color. So I'm going to do one here, and we'll see what that looks like. So I've got my leftover Hypertufa mix there. I'm adding just a little extra water, and I'm just going to pour in some of this coloring. So you can see it's starting to get kind of that yellow tinge to it. I added too much extra water. Gotta watch that. So, and these bags of color that I get at my Home Depot or Lowe's, I think one of those is about $6. And it'll do a few little activities. It'll do a few projects with me. So you can see it's getting colored. And again, and take this. This one's a little bit too wet, but we're going to do it anyway because we have it. It's left over. I don't want to go to waste. We're going to put it inside of our stocking. And again, there we are. Want all of your seams on the bottom. There it is. There's my little votive candle. Press it in. There we go. We'll see about these tomorrow. Okay, so we've got the little Hypertufa stones that we were working on. They're just set, so it's later this afternoon. It's 4 o'clock this afternoon, and getting ready to go have some pizza and ice cream with some of our grandchildren. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, so I can't get too messy because I'm showered and clean, got everything going, so. But you're important, so I'm doing this. So what I'm doing is I'm carefully taking the stone out of the stocking. So here we go. Just going to carefully, because remember, this is not set yet. It's not hard. Very fragile, but it is set enough that we can take this stocking off. Oh, look, we got the ridge there from the toe. We can take care of that. All right, so anyway, what you want to do now, I've got just a paper towel. And this is how I do it. There's some smart people out there who might know better how to do this, but this is what I've come up with as I've worked with Hypertufa, and I want to get a nice smooth finish like you were asking, that river stone. And here we go. We're just now going to very gently, what we're doing, if you can see, we're just taking off the cement that has come to the surface. You can see, look at that, the pearlite, the vermiculite is starting to show through. So you're only going to do this until you start seeing that vermiculite come through. Once you see it, stop. Farther than that, because then you'll start getting down and digging into the Hypertufa, and then it's not going to have that smooth look that you want. So just as soon as you see the vermiculite start sparkling through, stop, and then move it and go to another area. Okay? I'm going to try to not get my white pants. This is my daddy coming out now. Going out in the workshop in his good clothes and doing something like this would make my mama a little bit crazy. He was always getting holes because he welded. He was a welder among many other things that he did. And he would get those weld holes in his clothes. And they'd need to go off and buy a new shirt. So here I've got that toe line that I thought I had moved out of the way, but I didn't. So just to kind of get that out of the way, I'm just going to do a little extra burnishing here to smooth that out, where it might just look like a regular little crack in the rock, a little formation in the rock. Maybe a fossil, I don't know. I'm not a geologist, so. But I will rub that just a little bit more to get that indent to look a little more. There we go. See, that's what I've done with it. So anyway, just keep burnishing, rubbing with your paper towel. Don't use a sandpaper. Don't use a brush. Just this paper towel. When it starts getting raggy, you can get another one. And this is all you need to do. And I'm doing it gently so I don't accidentally break my stone. And when you do this, you'll see how easy it is to get this nice smooth look. I just love how that vermiculite comes through and sparkles. Oh, so exciting. I think all things must sparkle. See, my shirt. There we go. So empty that out. And then as you're inside this hole, that little indent that we have, here's my, as you're looking inside here and kind of cleaning that out in there as well. There you go. Here's that votive candle, and it goes right in there. There it is. So this is one of the battery operated ones, and here's one of the real candles right there. So whichever one you like, make sure you make your divot large enough. You can go ahead and do the bottom as well. So you can see this is where the knot of the stocking was. You want to kind of smooth that out so it doesn't look so pronounced that there was a knot there. Just make it. And there's more cement settled at the bottom of this, so you're going to just a little bit more, but there we go. Look at that. Look at that. Ah, it's so great. And there is your faux river stone votive candle right there. And that's just with the regular cement. So this will dry to be that light gray that we all know and love Hypertufa for. Plus it will have these sparkles. So I'm going to let this continue to sit here in my workshop. And then when it gets dry, I will plunk it in a bucket of water. So let's see if this colored one will work for us. Take this out. There we go. So again, carefully, because again, this is still wet. So it's not completely set. And this is the colored one that we did. So here we go. We're just going to need a different piece of paper. Once it gets once your paper towel gets damp and rolled up, it's not very good. So just burnish, burnish, burnish. So this is the one I used the cement coloring with. So you can see the difference in the colors. This is gray, this has got more of a yellow hue to it. But there you are. So we have our two faux stones ready. And again, those do need to sit out and be completely dry. And go ahead and dunk them in the water for a few days. Bring them out and let them dry again so they're nice and cured, like we want our Hypertufa to be. And then all you need to do is go ahead and go find yourself a nice little river stone. You could do really any kind of stones or make more of your own. And you know, that one's too big for this stone, but this one is not. This one could sit right there. So I use a cement glue to glue cement glue because hot glue won't work, at least not here in Arizona, because when it gets hot again, it melts. Doesn't work. The E6000 glue, which is really good for a lot of things, isn't good for this project either. So use find a nice cement adhesive, and that will work for you. And so you just glue this here. You gather up some little rocks. See, this is the E6000. It's kind of wiggly. So gather up a few little rocks and put them around, and put in your votive candle. Set that on your patio, on your coffee table, around your tub when you want that spa effect. So, it's time to go. I gotta go and get ready to leave and eat pizza and ice cream with my grandchildren. Thank you for your questions. That is what brought this video. I was asked by a viewer, Benna, how do I get that rock so smooth? Well, this is how I do it. There might, again, be someone smarter than me out there in the world that's got another method, and if you do, please share so we can all learn it. But this is the method I have found that works for me, and this is the method I use for these rocks. It's the method I use for the Hypertufa pumpkins that I make. That video is also on my YouTube channel here. So thank you to all of you that view and ask questions and give me confidence to keep making these videos for you. As you see things in my other videos or on my Instagram or anything and you've got questions, please ask. I'll do everything I can to get you the answers you need. Show you what I do in my messy area here that I can't seem to get clean. I don't know. Get a project going and then it all goes crazy. I hope you will enjoy making this project. I keep thinking about making the faux stones and making a hole in the center of them because I can't drill stones. I don't have a powerful enough drill. And so to make my own stones and put a hole through so I can stick a rebar through, and I can make my own little river rock tower in my yard, that would be really cool. So if any of you do that project, let me know. I want to see it when it's completed. I don't know that I'll ever get that one done, but I want to. Have a good day. Thank you for watching, and keep those questions coming. It'll spur some more videos. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.